Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe my videos to help me grow my channel and grow my audience. I wanted to give a quick tour of my van that I just recently completed a pretty substantial redesign of, and I feel very good about how things are looking in here. And I realized I've never given a tour of my van, so it seems like the perfect opportunity. Let's go. Okay, so my van is a 2010 Ford E350 XLT Econoline. And so she's 22 feet long. And the first thing I want to point out is that I have these 400 watts of solar mounted on top of my van. So you can see I've got two 200 watt panels. So one here, and they're both just kind of come in the side window. So I didn't drill holes to put them in, but they just come in through the side. And then as well, on top of my van, I have this this pipe mount that I had custom fabricated. So these are just super heavy duty magnets that hold the pipe mount into place. And what they do is that's actually how I connect my Starlink. So right here in my front seat, this is my Starlink that I have stored here. And for my work, I just hook it up and make sure that I'm able to see the sky, and it works great. So coming around the front into my passenger seat, you can just see I have some random storage that I keep over here. So I've got extra paper towels, I've got extra water, I've got my cooking grill. This is really just for my cooking, but I'm going to be transitioning over into using induction all the time very shortly. I got my shampoo and conditioner and just other random storage going on there. Let me close that up. So now coming into the side of the van, here's where I keep my storage for my water. So it's a 7-gallon Aquatainer, just classic water storage. And I've got my dumbbell that I like to do curls with, and do some squats with. And then coming into the van, one of the big changes I just made recently is I installed this swivel up desk that you can see is sitting up here with my coffee mug and my water bottle and my journal and my Kindle on top of it right now. And so this is just on some hinges which will pop up and down. And actually I need a second to show you exactly how this works. But how the hinges will work is pretty self-explanatory, but they'll just pop up and down and allow for me to just do that. And so now I have another desk area, and these just pops up, and bam, we're back in business. So it's pretty sweet. I'm really happy to have added this, something I've wanted to do for a while, and I just had the chance to do it this past week. So I'm also sitting in my swivel seat. So of course the van came like just a normal passenger van, and it was a 15-person van. So this front seat was just a normal passenger seat, and adding the swivel seat has really changed a lot. It just like makes the van much more open, gives me a lot more space, gives me a great place to sit, and just to relax in. This plus adding the flip up desk has been a great combination for me. All right, so then coming around into the van, we've got a whole bunch of interesting stuff. So how I do my power in the van is I use this thing called a Bluetti, which people in the van life community will know exactly what that is, but otherwise you may not. So it's just a way to it's a portable power station battery that has my solar connected to it. So you can see the number changing. That's the watts coming in from the solar panels and then the watts going out. And we're at 98%, and it's a beautiful sunny day, so I don't think we're gonna have any issue. I also have a smaller portable power station back here, and I've actually got a whole nother one of these big Bluettis back in the back of my van. So then, this might seem a little chaotic, but actually this is the cleaned up version of it. So just some space to store my shirts and my shorts and my underwear and socks, and then my backpack, my Starlink cable, some groceries, and then just some miscellaneous kind of electronic storage up here. Okay, so then coming around the kind of middle of the van, This has all been redone recently, so I'm really excited to share that with you. So I've got my sink here on the left, and you can see that my sink is just powered by this marine foot pump. And so I just hit the foot pump and water comes out of my sink and then gets collected into a gray water tank on the bottom. And I just have some paper towel storage down there too. I've got all this space for food storage and miscellaneous storage up here. So I've got my, my seasonings, my deodorant, my sunscreen, etc., etc. I've got this big butcher block that I love to use to do my cooking. And then this is where actually I'm going to start using my induction cooktop more often. So I just recently got an induction cooktop, and that's going to be great. I have another one of the big Bluettis down here, and that's going to be where I kind of cook from, right next to my bed. So otherwise, we've just got a whole bunch of storage, and all this storage is actually just held on by these magnets. So these are all just magnets that just are connected in. Coming around onto the left side of my van, so just more additional storage, and we've got this this nightstand that I just recently installed this past week, and so this is bolted to the wall now. And what this is going to do is just provide some more storage for me as I'm driving down the road. And if I can get this baby latch open, there we go. You can see that's where I'm keeping my induction cooktop and and my cookware, things like that. So I'm sure a question that you might be asking about a van setup like mine is, how do I use the bathroom? So I have a bucket and pee jar system. I honestly don't use the bucket almost ever. I usually just find a place to use the bathroom wherever I am, at a grocery store, or if I'm out in national parks, or wherever it may be, just like a vault toilet kind of situation, and that's usually what I do. But now that I've done this redesign of my van, I'm actually going to be looking into seeing if I can upgrade my toilet system and get something that would fit into my space a little bit more nicely. And then my pee jar, is what it is. You gotta pee, you gotta take a pee in a pee jar, and then just pour that out when you get the opportunity into a toilet. So yeah, so this is where I keep my toilet and pee jar, and that's been a good situation for me. So I'm coming around this side. I have my closet, so I have many shirts that I love to wear, of course, and these are just held up by some super heavy duty magnets, actually the same magnets that are on top of the van, holding the Starlink mount in place. And then I just recently installed these cupboards too. So these are actually like overhead kitchen cabinets, but I'm using them just here in the bottom of my van. Got my yoga mat. I got some additional food storage here. Some additional clothes storage down here, and towels. And then this I just got actually. Ooh, and I've already stained it a little bit. But this is just going to be a great little thing for me to sit on inside the van, and then keeps my dirty clothes in as well. And then last but not least, I'm bringing you back to my bed area and my under bed storage. So the bed actually used to be facing kind of front to back, and now I've turned it onto its side. And I'm about 5'10" and a half or so, and I'd literally just barely fit. If I was an inch taller, I wouldn't have been able to do this. So thank God that I'm only 5'10" and a half. I never actually reached 6 foot. But yeah, the bed is, very comfortable. I love it. So some additional things I've been thinking about adding now are pop-out windows for my back windows. So these windows would just be able to pop out instead, and give me some airflow at night, which would be great. And then potentially adding a roof fan. I know so many vans do have those, and it would be great. I'm just nervous about cutting into the roof, of course. And so we'll see exactly how that would play out. But thank you so much for joining me on my van tour, something I've been wanting to put together for a while. And now that I did the little redesign, it seems like a great opportunity. So I'm going to be posting this up, and let me know what you think. Thanks so much, and please like and subscribe, and do all those things that'll help me reach a greater audience and continue my van life journey. Thanks so much. Bye. Here we can come into the van. Oops.